Alrighty everybody, welcome back to another episode of Culz Checks Out. You guys seem to really enjoy the Spinosaurus one, and the big bad of the new Jurassic movie being the Distortus Rex has a figure already. It's one that I thought would have been waited till after the film came out just to hide the design, but hey, it's out, so let's check it out. We're going to try to not be too long because it looks like it's about to rain. So try not to get this rain on. We will at least get you a good look at the figure. So we'll kind of do the same. We'll just look at the box real quick. Alright, so up top you got a render of the D-Rex, Distortus Rex there. It says try me because you can see the action feature right there, and it looks like it makes the head go up and down and shake. It also looks like if you move the tail, it controls the arms, one set of the arms. Up top we see the sound icon just showing that this one does make some sound. And then of course just a little bit more of a look of the figure and the design of the D-Rex, which kind of looks like what we were expecting given the glimpses that we have seen in the trailers, and of course now with the artwork that's been released. Right below you see a little bit more of the early days render. It doesn't quite match up with this, but again, just kind of some concept art. And of course this is made by Mattel. You can see this is the Rumble and Rampage Distortus Rex. And of course it is the Jurassic World Rebirth lineup. On the back of the box we see Jurassic World Rebirth. Another render just showing some of the action features. Obviously this one can twist and turn and fight with its arms, as well as it is sound activated by that action feature on the tail. And just says slash attack, rage and roar. Right here it says if you scan it via the bottom of the foot, you can add it to the app. And it gives you two other animals released so far. Mosasaurus and Spinosaurus. Of course, the Spinosaurus we have previously reviewed. Below, it says made in China, so this one not Vietnam like the Spinosaurus. On the bottom it says includes 3 AAAs and not made for children under 3 years of age. Underneath, just a little bit more about it, and of course a little barcode there if you guys need that. Alright, so let's not wait any longer. Let's get this one out of the package. Alright, so we got it out of the packaging and it looks crazy. Already had one person say it looks like a cross between a dinosaur and alien, which given Gareth Edwards' description of a Rancor mixed with alien, mixed with a T-Rex, it hit the mark, right? I mean, it's odd, it's crazy. When we got the announcement that there's going to be hybrid dinosaurs in Jurassic World, I think people expected something like this, or at least something more like the Chaos lineup that we got around the time of Lost World. We'll see how this ties in with the actual film, mainly because we don't know if it's really a mutation of a Tyrannosaurus and just a Tyrannosaurus, or if this was an early attempt at making the Indominus. So we will find out. The movie's not too far away, so I'm really excited. Alright, so again, just kind of looking over it in a naturalistic setting, though I don't have a lab where this obviously breaks out of at some point during the film, but I just wanted to get some more look at the features. The head has a lot of detail. You can actually see a lot of scale detail, and we'll get a little bit more up close look here in a second, but you can see the teeth protruding. Definitely looks Rancor-ish. It's got a big thick neck, and then it's got these really big arms or maybe feet that maybe a mutation went wrong and it got 2 feet, or a mix of feet and arms, because it does have littler like Tyrannosaur like arms right there. At the back you see more of just like a T-Rex looking kind of back in here, with large bulky legs, really nice not oversized feet, and of course the tail. Not a lot of coloration on this guy outside of maybe the speckling of color up top, the white on the jaw, the red eye, and here. We'll kind of show you guys the action features. So first we're going to do the twisting of the tail, which you see does that swipe and claw. And then of course there's also the action feature button here. Definitely kind of sounds T-Rex in nature. And while obviously a T-Rex of mutation of some sort, I do see a little bit of Indominus in here. Alright, so just a little bit more up close look. You can see here, it's got a red eye, nicely detailed. The shape of the face kind of reminds me of the old Hasbro JP3 Rexes, which we can do a comparison here in a second. But again, it has those kind of like weird Indominus teeth, which are just kind of protruding anywhere. And of course, kind of looks like a Rancor mixed with Alien and a T-Rex. So yeah, Edwards hit the mark there. You can see again a little bit subtle scoot work or just larger scales, as well as a darker patterning on the top, just leading to about the waist. It doesn't go too far, and then it's just kind of brown from there on out. There are 3 points of articulation on the body, being the neck, right here about the waist, and then the tail right here, which I guess can stick out, but I think if you hide it, it's not as noticeable. I think more like that would be noticeable if you're trying to use it for pictures and such. You can see the arms or feet or whatever they're going to be. Nicely detailed. Claws aren't painted per se. They're the same color as like the lower portion of the arm. But you know, the back claws are, so it's nice to see at least some coloration. As well as some coloration on the bottom of the feet. That's kind of nice there. Hey, if any of you guys need it, there you go. Scan away. You can see the sound box as well as the on and off switch there. Right there is where you're going to do your batteries. Overall, it's a wacky design. It's weird. I don't know if it's what I expected in Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, but if we're going to go mutations and kind of just weird things gone wrong, makes sense. You know, it's better this than the Indominus. Just looks so streamlined and just like a dinosaur. It's kind of nice to have something that looks wacky. We'll do a close-up of the action feature again. So bites and shakes. Just looks wacky. It's huge too. We're going to do some comparisons here in a second. On a close-up of the little Tyrannosaur arms there. Definitely just arms that you expect to see on like the Tyrannosaur figure. So here we're going to just do a quick comparison with the old Hasbro one. I don't know why I see it, but just see its head in the design there. So again, it's really kind of hard to tell how big this thing actually is. Here's a comparison with the Hasbro Rex and just dwarfs it. I mean, this thing, massive, massive dinosaur. Here's a comparison with the Hammond Collection Tyrannosaurus. And you can see the Hammond Collection one definitely has the length on it by about a head. But I don't know. As far as like height, they're pretty close. Just obviously the Rex can stand up a little bit higher. And then last but definitely not least, the one I was most excited for from this lineup was the Thrash and Throw Spinosaurus. And you can see the figures themselves are about the same. Maybe the Spinosaurus just a hair longer. Though that guy is significantly taller. I mean, the back is at the height of the spine. And maybe, who knows, this could be the final matchup in the movie. So yeah, there's the Distortus Rex review, or D-Rex. It is kind of an interesting design. We'll definitely go more in depth on the D-Rex once the film is released. Obviously, we'll know more about it at that time. And I do want to start doing some species profiles on different dinosaurs. Hey, you guys just enjoyed the last review, so I figured why not do another, especially on the big bad of the next movie. So yeah, if you guys want more Culz Checks Out, click that link to your left. For more about us here on Culz Paranormal, click that link to your right. And don't forget to hit that like and give us a subscribe. And let us know, what are your thoughts on the design of the D-Rex? And is there any other dinosaurs or creatures you want us to review from this lineup? Tell us in the comments below.